something special and mysterious about pirates that has piqued interest in many people over time, and one of the famous pirates in history are the Barbarossa, which means red beard in Italian, was the last name for Kerudin Barbarossa, Ilyas Barbarossa, Oric Barbarossa, and Ishak Barbarossa, who became famous and powerful by accumulating riches during their pirate adventures on the Mediterranean Sea. Barbarossa was depicted as a wicked man, full of greed and killing people for his gains. However, the true Barbarossa was a different man. During the years between 1462 and 1912, the island of Lesbos in the Aegean Sea, which is now part of modern-day Greece, were ruled by the Turks, and at around the 1470s. The island of Lesbos was the place where the Barbarossa were born. The Barbarossa was clever and bright as a youngster, though he had a tendency to mock the contemporaries. When they was a young man, they was noted for his impressive way of speaking, and they was brave but prudent, and a strong-willed person. They was born with a fighting instinct and had a bold manner. Their career started as a corsairs. They all learned sailing from their father and worked in their father's business at first, before becoming the pirates of the Mediterranean. While they were doing business, the Knights Hospitaliers based in Rhodes greatly annoyed them as they disrupted their business. After doing business for years, they decided to become corsairs to counter the privateering of the Knights. Working as a corsair, Oru, the elder of the Barbarossa, once helped some of the refugees that flee from Spain, who took over Granada in 1492. Oric helped these refugees flee to North Africa in his fleet, and thus the name of Baba Oric. The Spaniards heard his name Baba Oric as Barbarossa, the Italian name for red beard. Thus the fort came to be known as the Barbarossa. However, after the Reconquista, the Spaniards and the Portuguese attacked the coastal cities of North Africa to gain territory. The African emirs and the Ottoman Sultan detested the attacks. Oru and Kidder worked as corsairs and counterattacked the Spaniards and Portuguese under the direction of Corbe, the son of the Ottoman Sultan Bayezid II. However, the ending of Sultan Bayezid II's reign led to a war of succession between his son Selim and Shezad Korkut. Selim beat Korkut after some time and was hunting all his friends. Since the Barbarossa were close to Korkut, they fled to their North African base to avoid Selim. They kept their mission of fighting the European forces at one, the local enemy. During their activities against the European forces, they were very successful in defeating them. After that, Kidder Barbarossa remained loyal to the Ottomans, and his association grew more with time. He was even more closer to Suleiman the Magnificent, who became Sultan after the end of Selim I's reign. He was a master of seas and knew what works better in naval battles. Because of that, he quickly defeated the Holy League of European countries and secured the whole of the Mediterranean for the Ottoman Empire. During the battle, Barbarossa's fleet sunk 10 European ships, captured 30 ships along with 3,000 enemy sailors, and burned 3 ships. Barbarossa went on to capture the islands of Srifos, Andros, Skyros, and Skythos. He also defeated the Spaniards and got Constantinople from them. He also captured the castle of Rizin and other outposts of the enemy in the Aegean seas, thus forcing Venice to recognize territorial claims of Ottomans, and signed a peace treaty with Sultan Suleiman by paying 300,000 gold ducats in 1540. Suleiman made him governor of Rhodes when captured it in 1522, and chief admiral when he conquered Tunis in 1531. His popularity grew more and he rose to more prominent positions. He and his forces kept their advance by defeating the Spaniards, and his activities brought him to a great battle against leading European countries such as Malta, Portugal, Genoa, Venice, and Spain. Hitler led a decisive victory against the fleet of these countries in 1538 at the Battle of Preveza in Greece. Seeing his extraordinary skills in capturing and conquering regions after regions, Emperor Charles V offered fascinating positions to Barbarossa, including the ruler of Spanish territories in North Africa and chief admiral of the Spanish fleet. But Barbarossa declined the offer after sailing on the seas throughout his life and capturing and enlarging the Ottoman Empire beyond islands and seas. He finally retired to his palace in 1545 in Istanbul. So, that was the story of the most feared pirate that ever lived. His boldness has inspired a lot of people. In fact, the movie of The Pirate of the Caribbean are one of the examples. So that's it for this video. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification to see more interesting videos. Thank you.